What is going on, guys? DBG here. And lads, the Uno reverse card is being played right here. The Uno reverse card is being played. This is we've had a little bit of a rocky start, but we gotta get DBG December to we're gonna have to end it well. We're gonna have to end it well. I don't know. I'm considering from the 14th to Christmas Day doing like DBG-mas, where I'll stream every day. I'll have a bunch of things done, and I'll make some sort of like special Christmas videos. But until then, we still have 2 days to get DBG December back on track. So I looked all over my house. I do not own Uno, so I couldn't show you guys the Uno reverse card. But we're reacting to TYDEBO'S tier list. We are reacting to TYDEBO'S tier list. We are fully playing the Uno reverse card here now, lads. So, let's get on to it.
It is starting with Alex Cruz. Now, remember, these are primary point guards, okay? So, there's a shooting guard, point guard. They're not going to be on this.
A or S.
Cruz is one of the newer cards that's on this.
Has to be at least A. If you put him A, I'm cool with it.
6'4". I mean, quite honestly, there's not many flaws with this Alex Caruso card.
He's God.
The fact that, no handles for days.
Don't use your primary.
He's overall just pretty mediocre. But when you compare him to some of the cards on this list, I think he's above average. And so I'm going to put him in B tier.
B
tier? He might go A tier. Like, we might find out very quickly that Alex Caruso may be an A tier level.
He's A hovering S.
Allen Iverson, he's lucky he's not in D tier. Like, this Allen Iverson card might honestly end up in D tier. No.
I'd put him in C tier, but if you're putting Alex Caruso in B tier, I mean, he's worthless.
Well, he is in D tier. He's lucky he's not in F tier.
No, he's good. He can score with this guy.
This card stinks. He had his time. Right?
No, he doesn't.
He came out end of September, October, November, 3 months ago, right?
He's not unusably bad. He's not good either.
Find himself into S tier. This Allen Iverson, look, guys.
I am telling you right now, no one is going to use this card when it comes out. I'm telling you right now, Caruso, if he's S tier, Caruso has to be A.
He might go S tier. But I mean, here's the deal.
He's a 6-foot-tall point guard.
Here is the deal. 61 total badges. I get that. Basically a GOAT card. 49.
Don't justify it. He's A.
49 interior at 6 feet tall. Like, what are you gonna tell me?
Like, I don't think there's anyone nowadays that's gonna argue a 6-foot-tall point guard is an S tier. Like, stick with your guns, Ty. A tier is fine because he's the best 6-foot-tall point guard in the game, but he is still a 6-foot-tall point guard.
Dude, he'll probably kill
Stick with your guns, too, Ty.
He'll probably get fried like a piece of bacon by him, but that's fine. I can't put this Allen Iverson in S tier right now. I'm not going to.
Caruso's better.
I physically can't get myself to.
Andre Miller C. He plays defense.
And honestly, Andre Miller's a card that I really don't know too much about.
I've used him a few times. He's actually not terrible.
He's good. He's 6'4". Here's the problem though. No hot spots. Does come with the 74 3-ball, which is...
He's locked in. He's not actually terrible.
And I mean, quite honestly, all the way around, Andre Miller is not terrible. Is he better than this Allen Iverson?
Yes.
Yes, and it's not close. Is he nearly as good as Caruso?
No.
No.
But like, Caruso in B tier is the base of joke. Caruso's like pushing S. Like, Caruso's the best card we've seen so far. And you might say, oh, what about Allen Iverson? Iverson's better than Caruso. I'm telling you, wait till January. Who are people going to be running more, Caruso or Iverson? The answer is going to be Caruso.
Caruso to A tier. I'm sorry. If Allen Iverson is A tier, Caruso is going to A tier. We might shift things around, but that's where I'm having people right now.
B? C.
And Amy CP3 is solid. I mean,
he's similar to Iverson. Similar to Iverson.
Solid. 90 speed, 90 lateral quickness, decent enough. 3-ball, good badge-wise. 6 feet tall. I mean, he's solid. At 6 feet tall,
C, yeah. Both of them in C.
Chris Paul is going the same way. But I mean, he's pretty solid. That's the best thing that I can say about C.
Cole Anthony C. I hate Cole Anthony.
Hate him so much. Our next card here.
Hate Pierce Base.
Cole Anthony might be our first F tier card.
He's not F tier. His stats and badges are great.
He's pretty bad. Combine the bad defense with the Paul Pierce base. I don't care about the duo.
He's not F tier.
He's worse than this Allen Iverson card. You cannot convince me that this Cole Anthony card is better than AI. You just can't do it. Damian Lillard, a card that is better than Allen Iverson. I do not care what people say.
I run Marcus Smart over Dame Lillard. Like, the more I use Dame, the more I dislike Dame. For me, Caruso's better than Dame. Just a thing. And again, this isn't like bias because you don't have Dame. I have Dame. Caruso's in my team. Marcus Smart starts at the 1, or Payton starts at the 1. or Marcus Smart, depending on how I feel, and then one of them comes off the bench. Like, Caruso starts for my team. Or Caruso is in my lineup, and Dame's not. So, I just don't know. Dame is just so easy to target. Like, Dame's so good on offense. He's just so bad on defense.
Big Diamond Dame is better than the level 40 reward.
No question Dame's better than AI. Dame's definitely better than AI.
Can hold it down better.
If you want to put Dame in S, I'm cool with that.
Than Allen Iverson. I'm not going to say he's Allen Iverson level good on offense, but I think Dame's closer to S tier. I'm going to put Dame.
I don't mind that.
Right
I don't
now.
like him that much, but I don't mind that.
Down. I don't want too many people in S tier, but right now, that's where I'm thinking Damian Lillard
D.
is going to be. Dave being next, and I mean,
Being's not as bad as
Dave
people
Bing
say.
First came out. First of all, he's an exchange award, so nobody should like it.
No.
But when Dave...
Oh, wait, speaking of exchange awards, have any of you guys seen Rolando Blackman's exchange awards? 20 original owner Dallas Mavericks players. Like, that is stupid. I was looking at my collection. I have 2. On my no money spend account, I have 2. And you need 20. As well as, like, diamonds and 8 amethysts. You literally have to spend, like... It's like 50k and a whole bunch of packs. Like, you could open a 450 box and not get 20 original owner maps.
First came out, people were gassing this card. Look,
he's usable.
Look, guys, he's got set shot.
Yeah, but it's not that bad.
If you have set shot 4,
it's not that bad.
My court, you're not even on my court.
It's not that bad.
If you have set shot 4 on my court,
it's not that bad
because you're not getting on my court with that set shot 4.
It's not that bad.
I'm sorry, I'm taking everybody at C tier.
No, he's better. I'm sorry, like, I don't like Dave Bing. Dave Bing's better than any of these guys in C tier. He's better. Dave Bing should be the first B tier player. I get it. There were a lot of people don't like that release. He's not good off the dribble, but wide open set shot 4 is fine.
And Davion Mitchell is included in that. Now, Davion Mitchell, he would be.
I don't think Davion Mitchell's that much worse than CP3.
Higher, but the problem with Davion Mitchell,
base dribble style, I get it.
First of all, he's a sapphire, and that means he's gonna lack some, badges.
He's not lacking badges though.
He's only 6 feet tall, so that's the big problem with him. He's pretty comparable to CP3 in general. Davion's release is a lot quicker, maybe not as greenable. Preference between him and CP3. Honestly, don't know who the better overall point guard is. After Davion Mitchell, we do see De'Aaron Fox, who I am so incredibly high on.
Hey, he's actually, screw it. De'Aaron's better. De'Aaron is probably as good as Dame.
Enough how high I am on this De'Aaron Fox card. Really, it comes down to this. His player build feels small in game.
You give him some shooting badges as good as Dame.
But a really good steal rating. Hall of Fame, quick first step downhill, fast twitch, unstrippable, good on defense, great playmaker wise, shooting wise, can get sniper, limitless spot. This card really, outside of his interior defense, has no flaws. I mean, that's as
De'Aaron's brilliant. De'Aaron should be S. Dame's S. De'Aaron's S.
Dribble style, PG base, which is okay. I think he's an A tier point guard. We have yet to see B tier. He's better than Alex Caruso. It's debatable. Just hard I said it.
My favorite.
Allen Iverson.
I'm just putting it out there. My favorite player on this list so far is Caruso.
Iverson might drop. I'm sorry, but Allen Iverson really might drop.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
I am not high on
B.
I think I'm gonna do this.
No, you were so close. Alex Caruso in B tier. Alex Caruso in B tier. Dude, Ty, this guy's like made for you. He's a secondary ball handling point guard with unbelievable stats and half interceptor. Caruso's so much better than DeJounte, and I like both of them. Caruso's so much better.
Is the DeJounte Murrays of the world. I mean, guys that are better than a guy like Andre Miller, because all of the
way better than Andre Miller.
The same, but it's just a guy that's gonna give you a
that DeJounte's better.
More overall. At 6'4", good wingspan, gonna play lanes a little better. He can make plays. Yes, I know he's got slash dribble style, which a lot of you guys.
He has the float. He floats when he shoots.
Not really gonna get bullied on the court. I wish
he's gonna put Dinwiddie in A, isn't he?
A bit better. But I'm fine with DeJounte Murray in B tier. I think he's a step above everybody at C tier, pretty comparable to a guy like Alex.
Caruso's so much better.
Another guy that just
Schroeder, I'll give you that. Schroeder sucks.
Probably didn't even deserve to make it on my
Schroeder sucks.
Schroeder, this card stinks. This release that they gave him,
so bad.
This chart, if he had a good release, I might be high on Dennis Schroeder. The release they gave him
bad
is equal, if not worse, to Cole Anthony's release. It is that bad.
It's worse.
It's worse. 4 bad. Maybe even worse than set shot 4.
It's way worse than set shot 4.
Looking at the stat sheet,
set shot 4 is so easy to green off the catch when you're wide open. If you spend 30 seconds getting used to set shot 4, it's really easy to shoot with. Schroeder's Charles Oakley base is just garbage.
What do you mean? No, this card is F tier.
He's garbage.
Not good. Darren Williams, the next card here, and I mean, Darren Williams did come out, I think, day one in my team, right? And for the fact that he came out day one of my team, I mean,
I could have swore he has 6'10" wingspan.
There's not really that many flaws within the card. He just has become a little bit outdated. That's the
He's C tier. He's C tier.
Absolutely stinks. Combine that with just a mediocre card all the way around. Can shoot the ball well with Limitless, but just not the best option, right? There's no scenario in which I would.
Derrick Rose C or D.
Williams. You could probably. I'm gonna put him in D tier or a B tier.
He doesn't belong there.
He is solid, but nobody.
Derrick Rose now D tier.
Derrick Rose is up next.
Oh no! Post patch Derrick Rose in B tier. That's gassing it. How are you comparing post patch Derrick Rose? Pre patch, I'll give you that. Post patch Derrick Rose to Caruso. Oh my god, lads!
I'm having a hard time with Derrick Rose because for a time.
Yes, for a time. His time is not now. Not only is he outdated, he got patched. He got patched DF out of the game.
I love Derrick Rose. I ran him over the likes of Darren Williams, but
this is worse. This is worse than me putting Bob Pettit high on these tier lists. This is honestly worse than me putting Bob Pettit high.
A little bit outdated, right? If you come up against Derrick Rose, he is going to get fried on the defensive end.
He's going to get fried in the offensive end. You just leave him open.
The Derrick Rose base.
It's so fast.
Is, in my opinion, an incredible release. And if
it
we
is.
Get a better Derrick Rose, which we should get a Derrick Rose soon.
I agree.
Expect him to be really good for us.
I agree. This card sucks, though.
As long as they just slightly improve the defense.
I agree.
They give him a little bit of defense. We're going to be looking at a top point guard.
I agree.
Of my team. For now, I'm going to put him in B tier. Devin Harris, next.
He's not good. He can't even dunk.
I've used before in my team. So I'm just going to look at the stats, badges, release, and just go from there.
Like, he
so
can't
Devin
even
Harris
dunk.
Serge Ibaka release. We just got to take that in consideration. 85 3-ball, can't really dunk. I think the same tier as D-Rose is fine. He's not
the same tier as Alex Caruso.
Shoot it a little bit. He's not a guy like with the fundamental dribble style, which is solid. But he's not a guy. If I came up against Devin Harris, I'd be like, oh no, now I gotta go.
Like he's like a worse Eric Snow
against Devin Harris, and that's what you're really looking at.
He's not even as good as Eric Snow.
Point guards. When I come up against Dame,
get him down to C.
Come up against De'Aaron Fox, I'm like, okay,
CP3 is better.
Maybe AI.
CP3 is better than Devin Harris. I'm standing by that. CP3 is better than Devin Harris.
I laugh when I come up against AI, to be honest with you. He might end up way worse. Oh my goodness. Well, you better stay in your seats.
Eric Snow, please, at least B tier.
Eric Snow next, and here's my problem. Eric Snow is really, really, really solid. I think he is very comparable to the Darren Williams type build.
He's better than Darren Williams.
Am I wilding out by saying that?
He's better than Darren Williams. Look at the badge. He's better than Darren Williams.
But a lot of that's because Darren Williams can dunk, post fades a little bit better, all these weird stats. Look at the defensive stats. That's where Eric Snow is just...
Eric Snow's genuinely better than Darren Williams.
I feel like Eric Snow's stats are important in the stats that matter outside of dunk. Like, obviously, he can't dunk, but everything else, he does extremely well. And don't let Eric Snow get this duo.
Yeah, he's God with that duo.
If this was his base card, you don't even want to know where I'd rank him. He might be A tier, if not S tier. But just as his card,
he's B. Yeah, I agree.
The right spot for him. We might have to balance out B.
Caruso's also way better than him, though.
Hard because of where C tier is at right now.
D or
down, Freddie Brown, man. You had your time in my team. I mean, you did. Fred Brown will always be better than the Diamond Kyrie.
Yeah, he was way better than Kyrie.
But he had his time in my team. His time came and his time went. I mean, it is the way it is.
He basically Kyrie, but didn't have 68 lateral.
Fully badged him up. He could definitely.
And came a quick first step.
He could. You know, base dribble style obviously is tough on any card. But Fred Brown was solid. I'm gonna go D tier just because.
Fred VanVleet C.
Outdated now, but he was solid for.
I know D.
Amethyst.
I'm just saying that Allen Iverson deserves to be in C tier. That Diamond Iverson deserves to be in C tier.
The other Fred here.
Diamond Iverson is C tier.
A little bit 6'1" hurts the card's value a little bit. The main reason I like this card, Fred VanVleet, so much is because of the Giannis release. Now, his release feels a lot better than Giannis's release, probably because Giannis has like a 25 3-ball. But this card could do it all. And the reason I liked him the most, quick dribble style. You had the, side to side that was incredible. I don't know if it's the signature size up or what, but he could move and groove. Fred VanVleet, I'm pretty sure, was on my no money spent squad for quite some time. And I think a C tier spot is very deserving for him. Next up, Gabe Vincent. Now I watched Gabe Vincent versus the Minnesota.
He can cook.
For this moment card.
Unpopular opinion: Gabe Vincent can cook people. He's got like one of quick or shifty. He's got decent overall badges, and his release is good. He can cook people on offense. The guy doesn't play defense.
Comes from. He's a hooper.
The guy doesn't play defense.
6'6" wingspan, hot spot survivor, 89 3-ball, can dunk the ball, 86 field ball, ball handle, 88 speed acceleration.
Like I have him. I've used him. He's good. He can cook.
Comes with limitless.
He can genuinely cook.
The problem lies in his defense. Pretty self-explanatory. No defensive badges, no handles for days, and that's the problem. With a Ruby, you're probably not going to badge the card up. I'm going to put him at C tier. I don't think he's
better not. He's not as good as Iverson.
Even if you do badge him.
Iverson is so disrespectful. Iverson and Dave Bing need to be higher. They need to be C tier. And also, Alex Caruso in B tier is just disrespect. But Gary Payton S, no-brainer.
We're getting through these cards actually pretty quickly. Like, we're moving and grooving.
Gary Payton S, no-brainer.
But, I mean, there's going to come a time in which we're going to have to. Gary Payton. My
second favorite point guard in this list is in B tier.
Believe that Gary Payton is our best point guard right now in
debatable. I personally prefer Penny, but that's a debate.
NBA 2K22 MyTEAM. Name a better point guard than a badged up Gary Payton. I
Debatably Penny.
And you guys might say, Ty, it's a big deal. It's not. He's got 7 Hall of Fame defensive.
No, you can still shoot from fairly deep.
Ball well, decent enough 3-ball, great speed, lateral quickness, 74.
Oh yeah, you could definitely argue he's number 1.
Hall of Fame, literally everything defensively. He's not leaving my squad anytime soon. Obviously, he's in unlimited reward, so if you aren't, super good at the game, you're not going to get him. But Gary Payton is absolutely incredible. I'm going to throw Gilbert Arenas into C tier, and here's why. You guys might be like, Ty, why is he not B tier? Some of you guys might argue why he's not lower. What does this card do better?
Why is he ahead of Allen Iverson?
Than Eric Snow.
He sucks.
Yes, some of the Hall of Fame badges are
He genuinely sucks.
He can't even get clamps. Like, this card stinks. Like, he's 6'3", and he's lucky he's 6'3". Otherwise, he will be lower. He's C tier, but please, whatever you do.
He's not as good as Dave Bing. Unpopular opinion. Dave Bing is way better than Gilbert Arenas. Dave Bing is way better than Gilbert. And also, set shot 4 is not as bad as base 11. I'm just putting it out there. Base 11 is worse than set shot 4. Man, Dave Bing disrespect is crazy. Gilbert Arenas, man, get him into D tier. He stinks.
Do not.
B tier for Isaiah Thomas.
Isaiah Thomas, it's sad to... No, I'm going to talk...
I like him. I actually like both versions of IT. I like the Amethyst as well.
It's sad to me he's not A tier, but I don't...
He's not as good as those two guys in A tier.
Put him into A tier because he's 6'1". I love...
He's nowhere close to Iverson.
But on the flip side of things, he's got to play some sort of defense. And at 6'1", he is going to get absolutely fried. Can get limitless, can get sniper, can get any badge in the game. And again, Isaiah Thomas was fun. But we got to consider the card...
He was brilliant. Like, he was brilliant when he came in.
And he did have his time, but that time is not now. He's still a B tier player. Next up, we do have Ja Morant, who I think is wherever De'Aaron Fox.
You badge him up, he's A.
Yes, there's some slight differences.
If you badge up Ja, he's no question.
But some things I like better with Ja Morant, and some things I like better with De'Aaron.
I agree. I agree. De'Aaron's slightly better in my opinion, but I agree.
Has Hall of Fame quick first step, which Ja Morant doesn't have. There's just differences in the card. Whichever card you prefer, you can run. De'Aaron Fox is going to be a little better defensively. These cards are basically identical. That's all there is to say. Ja's very solid, and if you got him in my team limited, you're probably looking at a top 10 or so point guard.
I agree.
Of 2K. Jalen Suggs, I think, is another C tier point guard. And here's how I'd break down my list right now. Anything B or above are cards I think you can use and have a lot of success with. C is like, okay.
Derrick Rose?
B and lower is just not playable. So Jalen Suggs is a card, you can use
and
have some sort of success with, but he's not, some card I'd recommend. Maybe for his value, because he is going to be super cheap. 84 3-ball, good speed. Lateral quickness. The problem is really low interior. Again, not going to really want to apply money badges to him. Doesn't have clamps. He's just
I'm cool with that.
I know DBG hyped up Jalen Suggs.
I'm cool with that.
And because he's 6'4",
I'm cool with that.
Be able to compete. But
he's better than Gilbert Arenas, but I'm cool with that.
At the end of the day,
D tier, he sucks.
He's not. And neither is this Jamal Murray card. I cannot stress enough
D tier, he can't play defense.
I was when I got this Jamal Murray on my no money spent. And then I realized, I don't even really like him.
No, he wasn't even good to start.
It's mid, it's okay. And he lacks a lot. The card can shoot, but outside of that, what can the card really do? Quick dribble style is great. I just don't. I don't know. Maybe it was just my fault. Maybe I'm just not good at the game in general. But when I used
Jamal's not good.
I was sitting there.
Jamal's like worse Kobe White.
I did not have much success with him, and I would have.
There's only a couple that I really disagree with so far.
Mitchell, Jason Kidd, I'm gonna put at B tier.
I'll
start by saying
saying this. Jason Kidd is a B tier player if you move Alex Cruz up there.
Whenever I play against Jason Kidd, he never does anything to me.
I just laugh when I play J Kidd. Leave him wide open. It's 4-on-5 on offense.
He is an absolute menace.
Yeah, but it's 4v5 when he's on the floor.
On the defensive end of the court. 6'4", good wingspan, Hall of Fame clamps, menace. 94 perimeter, 96 lateral quickness, 95 steal, 30 block.
Yeah, but he can't play offense.
Jason Kidd defensively.
But he can't play offense.
And he's a problem at that.
Can't shoot or dunk.
Here just because of how much of a liability he is in the offensive end of the court. Jason Terry, I think, here's what I'll say about Jason Terry.
Has to go B.
B tier's the spot for him. However good Jason Kidd is on the defensive end is however bad as Jason Terry is on the defensive end of the court. But that's how good he is on offense. Like Jason Kidd's defense.
Jet's so good on offense. You can't not put Jet in B tier.
95 speed, Hall of Fame quick first step, quick dribble style. Like him on the
Jet's so
offensive
good.
end of the court is
Jet's
so
good.
tough. The problem is his defense. Like he's 6'2", he's not guarding anybody, and that's a problem. It's an absolute problem. I'd honestly compare him to a guy like, kind of like Isaiah Thomas, in which defense.
Devin Harris does not belong in B tier. I'm just saying, Devin Harris sucks.
Jason Terry's solid. I mean,
I use Devin Harris. Devin Harris sucks.
Is really solid.
F tier.
Jason Williams. I mean, a card that is pretty new. I will start by saying that Jason Williams is really new into the game.
F tier. He sucks. He actually sucks.
Terrible. I can't even sit here and say he's that good on offense.
He's the worst. He's F tier. He's the worst. He's the worst player on this list, including Schroeder.
This card might be the worst card on this entire.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm sorry because he's new.
He's worse than Schroeder and Cole Anthony.
He is terrible.
He's awful.
In my team. John Stockton is the next card here.
Iverson's been disrespected.
Nobody would ever think that John Stockton's a good card.
He's not terrible.
Besides the fact that he was good last year, like nobody's gonna look at this card and be like, "Wow, John Stockton's really good." You think, "Wow."
I've used him a few times. He's not actually awful.
Just doesn't have a great release, which he doesn't.
I like his release.
Good.
His dribble style's base though.
He's okay. Yes, he has Hall of Fame clamps, pickpocket, awesome. But the card is 6'1". Who is
C tier's fine.
I don't know.
C tier's fine.
Similar to Chris Paul, in general. I just don't know if I can go any higher with Stocky.
S.
John Wall, a shoo-in at S.
Yeah, I'm not as high on him as.
I will start off.
I'm higher on him now than I was when he came out.
I do not dribble or move well with John Wall. That's my fault.
He's not too.
It's my fault. I just don't. I do not dribble.
He is by. There is a 0% chance he is 2 tiers better than Alex Caruso.
Well, with John Wall,
they're both secondary.
96 speed, 94 lateral quickness, really good defensive player all the way around. There's no real flaws in the card, especially if you badge up the.
He's not that much better than Caruso.
Problem for me is base dribble style. That is the only dribble style in the game that I just don't move with. I can even move with like slash or dribble because
power is the worst.
Power dribble style because I can get to the rim. With base dribble style, I'm literally boxed. I have nowhere to go. And
power is the worst I've used.
Came out nearly a month ago now, and he is still prevalent, and people still use him in this game. Just goes to show how bad the last couple of content drops have been. Drew Holiday. Wherever DeJounte Murray is, I mean,
DeJounte's way better than Drew.
Difference is Drew is gonna have a little better release.
DeJounte's better at everything.
Longer, both gonna be really solid on defense. I mean, it's really it. Drew again, a card that came out a long time ago.
Alex Caruso in B tier is a joke.
A card that still is gonna hold it down on the defensive end of the court. He's not a card that if I ran, I'd worry about getting fried. Obviously, you're gonna need a shooting guard to create. Drew Holiday's defense is absolutely stout. Next, we do have Kevin Johnson. We only have two more lines here, which honestly, we're moving. We only got like 30. We still got a lot of players. Probably 30 more players to get through. So, we're getting through that though. About halfway through it.
Don't put him in D tier. C tier, yeah.
Like I don't know. This Kevin Johnson.
He's similar to CP3. Like he dunks. He can move a bit.
Sorry, 85
base dribble style's a problem.
Speed, 89 lateral quickness.
Where's he have slasher?
Now, my question to you guys is this. Know what you know about Kevin Johnson. 6'1", jump shot 31 is a good release. Base dribble style.
He's better than Chris Paul.
Why would you ever run this card over De'Aaron Fox?
You wouldn't, but like, just my opinion here. Is he as good as he's as good as Isaiah Thomas.
My question. Right?
He's as good as Isaiah Thomas.
He's 6'1". Defensively, he's pretty mediocre. I'm sorry. Kevin Johnson can go into our B tier, which is just the tier that's okay.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Better than John Stockton, better than Chris Paul, Fred VanVleet. But he's not as good as De'Aaron Fox, John Morant.
No.
I'm sorry.
But Cruz is better than Ja anyway.
That's what I might do after
Can I have both of them? I use Cruz.
I can't be as high on Kyle Lowry as I want to, and the problem is because he is 6
He can't dunk and he's 6 foot tall. He's CP3 tier.
Not terrible, which helps.
He's Chris Paul tier.
He's only 6 feet tall, man, with a very mediocre release.
His release is okay.
Combined with
don't knock that release. That's good.
Sorry, guys. He's just not very good. I do think what he gives you on defense.
Kyrie F.
All-around player puts him in C tier, but I can't be any higher. So I'm gonna move a couple dudes up. Caruso going up. And then I'm also going to go
Snow's the next best player there.
This is tough.
Snow's the next best player there.
You guys might disagree with me.
Snow or DeJounte?
This one, but I am gonna.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with DeJounte.
Now,
I'm okay with
this is the DeJounte Murray with Hall of Fame floor general. Okay, think of it as the other one because I forgot to put the better one on here. Kyrie Irving next up. I told you guys Fred Brown was better than Kyrie Irving, and I'm holding to that. Like,
Cole Anthony's way better than Kyrie Irving.
Literally.
Cole Anthony's so much better than that Kyrie Irving.
What are we talking about? This card cannot do anything on the defense.
They have 69 lateral quickness.
Because of that, I'm putting him in F tier. I'm sorry. That
Both
Kyrie's F tier. This Kyrie is F tier. You guys can hate me if you want to. Kyrie Irving is not
Dampier D.
This game.
D.
Louis Dampier.
He's a trash can.
No, but
he's a trash can. He's an absolute trash can. D or F.
He's fast, 93 ball, decent enough lateral quickness.
No, use him. He's a trash can.
Mismatch, Hall of Fame floor general. Defensively leaves a little bit to be desired, but here's the thing.
His stats look good. He's a trash can.
He at least gives you some.
No, he doesn't. He's a trash can.
No, he's 6 feet tall. But if Kyle Lowry's in C tier,
he's a trash can. Louis Dampier is a trash can.
I'm gonna put Louis Dampier in C tier.
How is Explain to me how Louis Dampier is better than Diamond Allen Iverson or Dave Bing. How are these two guys like? I'm so high on Jalen Suggs. Jalen Suggs is not as good as Dave Bing or Diamond Allen. Maybe he's better than Diamond Allen Iverson, but he's not as good as Dave Bing. Dave Bing is better than every single player in C tier. I stand by that. Dave Bing would be the best player in C tier. Dave Bing is as good as Jason Kidd. Dave Bing is as good as Jason Terry. Dave Bing is better than Devin Harris. He's so disrespected. Let me just pull up the stats. Here. Let me play the ultimate Uno reverse card of bringing up 2KDB. Again, stats and badges don't mean everything because Louis Dampier is not bad stats and badges wise. Let's look at Dave Bing. There is no reason to ever get Dave Bing because like he is a ascension or not ascension. Change word. So he has got an 86 3 ball, 94 speed, 90 lateral quickness. He's got a silver clam, silver interceptor, half floor general, half kneel threader, half unblockable, half bullet. He's got gold sniper. So he's not going to miss whites. Insane attributes, can kind of dunk. Quick dribble style, really good behind the back. He's not the greatest player off the dribble. I agree with that. But my God, is he better than every single player at C tier. Dampier stinks as well.
This
yes.
deserves a little respect.
But Dave Bing's way better though.
Because he does deserve to be a little bit higher than I initially had him. I don't like how my tier list is unproportional, but I really do not know how to fix it. I mean, I don't...
Move Dave Bing up, move Gilbert Arenas down, move Andre Miller. As much as I love Andre Miller, move Andre Miller down. Move Louis Dampier down. And then it looks okay.
I don't know how to fix this. This is just an absolute disaster, but I don't know how to fix it. I'll move...
Miller is not the worst player there.
Because this 74 3 ball, I'm going to move.
He's so much better than Gilbert Arenas.
Conley up next, and again, Conley's another guy I think is a B tier player. I mean, Conley is a guy.
Yeah, I don't mind Conley. He's fine.
Offline. That hear me out. 6'1", 6'5", and if you got him, you got a guy with a very
Conley's
good
fine.
Release. Jump shot 22. 88 3 ball, can't dunk, but that's the only fault.
I agree with that. Like Conley's a good card.
The fact that he can't dunk, what else can he
Can't shoot from Limitless.
Oh wait, I mean,
off rip anyway.
What else can this card
not shoot from deep?
6'1".
He's not as good as Snow.
Good speed, decent lateral quickness. Yes, his interior and strength are really bad, but he's not bad at 6'1".
No, that's the right tier from.
Some of these small point guards up here, throw Mike Conley in.
He's way better than Rose.
and I really hate to do this, but Nate Archibald is that good as well. I'm tired of some people slandering Tiny Archibald, and I'm not going to be one of them. Honestly, if you want me to be completely honest with you, Tiny Archibald is closer to A.
No, he's not.
Than Mike Conley. He's closer to A tier than Kevin Johnson.
I agree.
Closer than Jason Kidd. Closer than Jay. We got Isaiah Thomas and Nate Archibald.
No, Eric Snow's so much better than Tiny Archibald.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God! Did you just put Nate Archibald above Eric Snow? Am I watching this correct tier list? First of all, I believe Eric Snow's in the complete right tier. I think you get Nate Archibald down there. Isaiah Thomas is so much better than Nate Archibald. If you want to put Isaiah Thomas there above Eric Snow, I'm cool with that. Move Nate Archibald down a tier. Get Derrick Rose down a tier. Even get Devin Harris down to a few of these guys down. I'm cool with that, but like Nate Archibald's not better than Mike Conley.
Leslie's gonna make things a little different, but I think I'm gonna like it a little bit more by balancing out these tiers just a little bit.
And you did it by putting in a 6-foot tall point guard.
I'm gonna do it like this.
Okay. I'm cool. Stockton is better than CP3. Stockton's way better than CP3, but I do like Gilbert Arenas being moved down.
I like this a little bit better. Just because they're a little more balanced. More than anything, they're just a little
Derrick Rose should not be in B tier.
With it. But I like Tiny Archibald. Think of De'Aaron Fox, just a little small is the best way I can put it.
Think of De'Aaron Fox. Okay. Let's compare. So De'Aaron Fox's biggest thing is his dunking. De'Aaron Fox has a plus 50 dunk on Tiny Archibald. Plus 50. Obviously in post moves, Tiny Archibald has worse stats despite having 36 better in post fade and 31 better in post moves as a 6-foot tall player. He has a 30 interior defense, 40 block, 21 or plus minus 21 block. Tiny Archibald doesn't even have good perimeter defense. Badges wise, Tiny Archibald comes with bronze clamps. He gets like one of the good defensive badges. He doesn't really get any shooting badges. Playmaking badges the same as De'Aaron. In what way is he comparable to De'Aaron Fox? He's 6'1" with a tiny wingspan. Tiny Archibald stinks. Like in what way is how is Tiny Archibald? Explain to me how Tiny Archibald is better than Eric Snow. Explain to me. Tiny Archibald plus 77 total stats. All of them are in like offensive consistency, passing vision, vertical, which doesn't matter on a 6'1" player who can't dunk. Hustle plus 30. Plus 14 draw foul, which doesn't matter because you're never going to walk inside the 3-point line. Like, look at the stats that matter. 3-pointer, way better for Eric Snow. Release, equal, if not better for Eric Snow. Speed, obviously a little better for Tiny. Defense, look at the difference in defense. Badges wise, oh yeah, whatever, half quick first step. And in fairness, he does get quick dribble style. But still, you're not going to be able to create with the guy at all. You get all these extra shooting badges and all these extra defense badges, including interceptor. Just to pretty much half floor general, half quick first step are the only ones that really matter for Tiny Archibald. Tiny Archibald not only does not belong in A tier, he's one of the weaker players in B tier.
Oscar Robertson is a card.
He's so much better than Tiny. You have to put him in A. You've set the precedent. Every card that's competent is in A.
October, we got to remember this card came out 2.5 months ago. And he is still okay. Like, if you run Oscar, you are still okay. Like, you're still
He's so much better than Tiny.
What kind of counter question is, Penny is just way better at everything.
I agree, but you have just put Tiny Archibald in A tier. You have just... Screw it. Iverson's S. Iverson is an S tier now. I don't care. If you put Tiny Archibald in A tier, Allen Iverson's an S tier.
That's the problem I have with him. I still think he's B tier, no doubt. But
you have Tiny Archibald in A tier.
I'm sorry, guys.
No, he can cook.
Patty Mills stinks. He's excited when this card came out.
He's better than Downtown Freddie Brown.
This card is absolutely atrocious. He is worse than everybody in B tier. Patty Mills is
no, he's not as bad as Davion Mitchell.
S. Hardaway, we're going back to S tier. And I think he's the second best point guard in the game. Some people would argue first.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think he's our second best
I'm fine with
point
that.
guard in the game. But my question is, what can Penny Hardaway not do on the court? One thing. And that's have a good release. Did you guys realize?
It's not even that bad this year.
Penny Hardaway just had a little better release, how good the card would be. People are like, well, Ty, he's not even good on defense. Really?
Yeah, he is.
Penny Hardaway is not good on defense. He's a point guard.
He's ridiculous on defense. He's brilliant.
Defensive stats. I get it. He can't get clamps. But
clamps doesn't matter.
Penny Hardaway is not a good defender is blasphemy. The more I use Penny Hardaway, the more I think he's going to surpass Gary.
He's number one for me.
For me. Pete.
A.
Easy, easy, easy. Oh, what is this? Pete Merrick. A tier. I think it's easy. He's an easy A for me. 6'5". Yes, again, defensively.
Doesn't matter. He's A.
But for Pete, the fact that he's 6'5" makes up for some of the defense. He's still a really bad defender. I'm not sure.
He can't get any shooting buys, which is weird.
I think if we're talking about this A tier, Pete belongs in it. I mean, I think he's better than IT at this point. Better than Tiny.
Tiny and A tier.
He's right in this kind of De'Aaron Fox, John Morant.
I'm just gonna say it is right now. Like, my ranking Bob Pettit 1 to 2 tiers too high. It is like seems like a genius move compared to putting Tiny Archibald in A tier. He wasn't even gonna put Caruso in A tier, and he no hesitation put Tiny in there.
Kind of in the middle of those guys. He's basically the same as those. So I'm just throwing
Tiny Saber.
Not quite S tier, but he is very, very solid. Rajon Rondo. Look, if we're putting Chris Paul at C tier,
Davion Mitchell's way better. Is better. Davion Mitchell's literally just Rajon Rondo, except Davion Mitchell can shoot.
I'm putting Rajon Rondo up here as well.
He can't shoot, and he's 6 foot tall.
Rondo. But my counter to that is he's 6'1", really long wingspan, and one of the best defensive point guards in all of my team.
So is Bob Cousy, and I don't even see him on the list. He's 6'1" with a long wingspan.
That's my counter argument to it. Is he great now? No.
He can't shoot.
Not great. Still has quick dribble style. Still has a decent enough release. His 3-ball is a bit low. But Rondo's fine. I can't. I gotta go deep.
There we go. That's correct. That is correct.
I just got to. Just because the lack of 3-ball.
That's correct. Stockton's so much better than Rondo. Wait a minute. Does he have John Stockton below Louis Dampier? Oh dear Lord.
Jackson for a free Sapphire is not bad.
He is
free Sapphire Reggie
D
Jackson,
or F.
Badge wise is not bad.
Base 10's bad for point guard.
Imagine Penny Hardaway at 6'2". That's what Reggie Jackson is, and this guy is not even close to Penny because he's just not.
Put him in D and get it over with.
In general, he's an F tier player. Down to our last row.
If you put Ricky Rubio behind Nate Archibald, I'm going to snap.
Starting with Ricky Rubio, who I'm going to right now throw in B tier.
Explain to me how Ricky Rubio is in any way worse than Tiny Archibald.
But that's not where Ricky's staying. Ricky Rubio is an A.
Okay. Thank God.
He is an A tier point guard, and you guys can hate me. He's an A tier point guard. What does the dude not do? Outside of the really low interior strength and block, he does everything outside of dunk so well on the court. He comes with limitless, Hall of Fame catch and shoot blinders, chef. The only kind of cons that I can say, slash dribble style, can't dunk, and bad interior defense. That's it. Good jump shot, has all the badges in the world, 6'4". Ricky's an A-tier point guard. Not one of my favorite point guards in the game, but he's a very solid option.
Strickland stinks. C.
Here's the problem.
He's like upgraded Fred Brown.
Came into triple threat online right after Paul Silas.
Everyone got. I have like 5 Rod Stricklands.
Rod never stood a chance over Paul Silas, who was there before him. But Rod Strickland is not. He's not the worst. Defensively, he's going to be okay. Even handling the ball, he's
just better downtown Freddie Brown.
The problem is, again, base dribble style, Kyrie release. He's not great, but he is 6'3". Gives you a little bit more than Andre Miller. That's why he's at C tier.
Westbrook C.
Westbrook
sucks.
Not very good either.
Westbrook sucks.
He's just... He's not very good.
He can shoot, in my opinion.
Yeah. 6'3", 6'7" wingspan. Decent enough release. Defensively, he's just not great. And I think C tier is where he belongs.
I agree.
I think he belongs in B tier, but I want to put him in C tier. I think that's more...
He's better than Derrick Rose.
I want to put him in C tier. But
he's better than Derrick Rose.
That's Russ.
Sleepy's C or D.
For you on the offensive end.
Sleepy stinks.
Out of that C tier category. But I'm not the biggest Russell Westbrook fan. And I'm not the biggest Sleepy Floyd fan.
Sleepy's so bad.
Like, Sleepy Floyd... You had to lock in so much in the exchange early on, and people did it to get a very mediocre point guard. We've got to remember that jump shot 22 on a point guard, it's good, but on some point guards... He's got
the Andre Drummond upper, it's broken.
Sometimes it can be a little baited, so it's a little baited, only 6'3", For his time when he came out on September 9th was good. But it's December
He wasn't even
10th.
that good on September 9th.
I'm recording this video, and I'm sorry, Sleepy is C tier.
I'm just saying this right now. If Tiny Archibald is in A tier, then Dinwiddie, Steve Francis, Stephen Curry, Trae Young, Tyrese Maxey, and maybe Walt Frazier all A tier. I'm not even joking. Steph Curry, Steve Francis, Trae Young, Tyrese Maxey, and Dinwiddie are all significantly better than Tiny Archibald.
Go Spencer Dinwiddie. Oh my goodness gracious. Do I want to put you in A tier?
He's better than Tiny.
Because of how bad you are in current gen. If Spencer Dinwiddie was just a tad bit better on current gen, to where he's on next gen,
he's better than Tiny.
There's no doubt about it. I like Spencer Dinwiddie on next gen more than Ricky Rubio, but because of how bad he is on current gen, I just can't do it. But Spencer Dinwiddie is a guy.
That's Steph.
Stats don't tell the whole story.
Diamond Steph is C tier.
Base Steph, is he worthless?
No! No, he's not. That Steph can cook, man. The only difference between that Steph and the other one is that like he just gets all silver badges. That Steph can straight up cook. No Steph's play defense.
That's the question of the day.
Put him in C.
My answer to that question is yes.
No Steph's play defense. Just forget the lateral. Every Steph's getting cooked on defense. This Steph on offense can still do stuff. He's like a much better version of Kyrie. Like, no way. He's not like, no way. No, that is blasphemy.
I know
he's not that bad.
But he's still
He's not as good as Stockton. I would say C, but it's like Stockton in D tier is a joke. He's so much better than Jamal Murray. He's so much better than Fred Brown. He's so much better than Gilbert Arenas. He's so much better. I love Davion Mitchell. He's better than Davion Mitchell. Like, he's better than Andre Miller. No, Steph Curry in F is blasphemy. Like, he's not, like, he's worse. But is he that much worse than the Pink Diamond? I'm not sure.
What is Steph really doing for you? Pink Diamond Steph, I'm going to throw into...
Like, you have 4 tiers between the card, and the only difference is that one of them is awful on defense, and one of them is slightly less awful on defense. In-game, that really is the only difference I've noticed. One of them is slightly less awful on defense.
A tier, though. I think he's an A tier point.
I agree.
What he gives you on offense.
I agree, but if he's A, the other one is at worst C tier. Like, at worst, there is not 4 tier. There's not top to bottom tier gap between the two Currys.
Bro, this Steph... and all these Pink Diamond Stephs together,
they're all the same.
What they give you on offense is enough, in my opinion, to put him in A tier. Still on defense, he's going to be an absolute liability.
So much better than Tiny Archibald.
And hopefully you guys aren't trying to argue that either. Steph's overall just solid. Stephon Marbury.
He sucks.
Look, man, Stephon Marbury.
Actually, wait a minute. He's not actually that much different than Derrick Rose. I'm putting it out there. If anything, he's equal to Derrick Rose. He sucks, but if Derrick, he should be C tier and Derrick Rose should be C tier.
Your 2 days in which people were comparing you to Derrick Rose.
Yeah, because Derrick Rose had the D-Rose side to side, which is what separated the two of them, and now that's nerfed. They're the same card.
Marbury's never going to be Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose.
He's better.
Quick first step. Derrick Rose just did some things better than Marbury. Marbury's not.
I mean, he has way better defense.
He's a little harsh. I'm going to throw him into.
Let's compare Marbury and Derrick Rose here. Let's compare Marbury and Derrick Rose. So let's just say Derrick Rose was better than Stephon Marbury. I will concede that Derrick Rose was better than Stephon Marbury because the Derrick Rose side to side was like one of the most important SIGs in the game. It was just one of the easiest ways to dominate. So let's compare these two. So 4 halves versus 1 half. Fair enough. In terms of stats, Derrick Rose is 61 better total stats, but well, to be fair, 20 of them are in driving dunk. So Derrick Rose is faster, but you've got +4 lateral. You got just a little bit better defense. Derrick Rose, a lot of these stats are better rebounding, which doesn't matter. So speed, basically, you got better defense of Marbury, a little bit better speed. Actually, to be fair, Derrick Rose has a longer wingspan. Check out badges. You get interceptor on Marbury, which is a huge defensive badge. You don't get half quick first step or downhill. You get half fearless finisher. You get hot zone hunter. You get catch and shoot. You get difficult shots, green machine, rhythm shooter. You don't get corner specialist, but you get mismatch expert as well. So you get some shooting badges. They both have the same release. Their dribbling is essentially the same now because the D-Rose signature size doesn't matter anymore because you can't left-right with the D-Rose. And in fairness, they both have bad layup packages. So yeah, maybe it's gas in saying Marbury is objectively better than Derrick Rose, but they're the freaking same. They're the same tier. No matter what, they're the same tier.
2C tier. I'm not the biggest Stephon Marbury fan, but is he better than Sleepy Floyd? Again, I don't know. That's really, really tough. Steve Francis, on the other hand, another A tier point.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Am I going to move anybody up? We'll see. I don't want to have any
I agree.
lines, so I'm going to have to move one of these guys in the C tier down. I'm going to have to move anybody down from C.
Louis Dampier is a garbage man.
Tier. Oof, this is tough. I guess.
How is he not better than Louis? How is Louis Dampier surviving in C tier? He is a trash can.
Gotta be Jalen Suggs.
Derrick Rose. Do whatever you do. If you move down Eric Snow or Jason Terry, I'm going to snap because I know he's going to move down one or two of them.
Gotta move somebody down from B tier right now.
Derrick Rose.
I don't know, man.
Derrick Rose makes this look so much better.
It's gotta be.
Okay, I'm cool with that.
We're in Darren Williams. Even if you were B tier, you're not very good anymore. Steve Nash. Oof, we're going to have to do some more rearranging.
Steve Nash is not as good as Steph Curry or Patty Mills.
Because Steve Nash is a B.
How is Steve Nash in B tier? What am I watching? What am I watching? This is this makes my Bob Pettit argument seem sane, seem logical.
Overall, Steve Nash.
For what reason? Steve Nash is a trash can. Steve Nash is an absolute trash can. He's getting like 92 speed. He can't dunk. He plays no defense. And he can kind of shoot. He's not even a good shooter. He can kind of shoot. Like, he can't dunk. Can kind of shoot. As well as that, he's also got the Steve Nash dribble style, which isn't that good. He's not even that tall. He's 6'3". Explain to me how Steve Nash is better than Fred VanVleet. Explain to me how Steve Nash is better than Dave Bing. Steve Nash is C or D. Maybe D. Like, Stockton is so much better than Steve Nash. I'm sorry, Stockton is so much better. Like, let me compare. I get it. Steve Nash is 2 inches taller. But let's compare stats. Stockton versus Steve Nash. John Stockton. Plus 39 total stats. Obviously, he loses out in post moves. And passing, actually, which doesn't matter. In every, Stockton is better by a significant amount in every stat that matters. Except rebounding. Badges-wise. You've got range on Stockton. You have got corner specialist, which doesn't matter on a point guard. You've got clamps, interceptor, intimidator. As well as that, in terms of his interior, he doesn't have 25 interior defense like Nash, which you want to harp on about. There's no reason. You just said Nash is good because he's good.
Is B tier. We're just gonna.
No, he's not.
And then let's maneuver some things. Trae Young is a card actually.
You have to put him in 8. If you put Nate Archibald in 8 tier, you have to put Trae Young in 8 tier.
I'm gonna throw Trae Young into 8 tier. I like what Trae Young gives you.
Please move Tiny down.
The reason I like Trae Young.
Please move Tiny down.
Especially if you're on current gen. Really good release. Really good defender. Underrated defender.
Trae Young's really good.
I know his dribble style might not be great. But
I don't like him, but he's cooked me.
And I saw a lot of people running Trae in quals, so I'm gonna put him in A tier. Kind of, especially with the new mode that did get released.
He's that Curry level player. He's good.
How valuable Trae is.
I agree.
I'm gonna put him in A tier.
A tier.
Tyrese Maxey, because of how much DBG has hyped him up, I guess we'll throw him into B.
How can you explain? You guess he's B tier. Let's listen to Tyrese Maxey. Scottie Pippen behind the back. 85 3-ball. Emmanuel quickly released when he easily released screen. Really good dunk animations. 88 lateral quickness. 84 steal. 90 speed. He's got pretty much all the shooting badges outside of range that matter and range and dead eye that matter for a point guard. If you're actually no sniper. But he also gets all the playmaking badges you need. He gets clamps. Explain to me how you guess he's in the same tier as that bum Steve Nash. And he's below tiny freaking Archibald. It's in the name. He's freaking tiny.
The biggest Tyrese Maxey stand, but...
He's got gold interceptor. How is he below how is he below Tiny Archibald?
He's a good all-around point guard. I at least...
I would agree with B tier if you didn't have tiny freaking Archibald in A tier.
Gotta admit that. Last but...
I mean, Walt's, wherever Jason Kidd is.
Not least, Walt Frazier.
B.
I'm going B tier. Because of what he does on defense,
I agree.
I am going B tier. So it's time to switch some things around. Who in D tier can I move down to worthless? That is our first question. Davion Mitchell, for as much as I like...
He's so much better than Jamal Murray.
You're 6 feet tall. 6 feet tall is not it. John Stockton.
How is John Stockton worthless? No, he's the best player. Not only the best player in D tier, he's probably the best player in C tier. And he went down. He went down.
Sorry, but if you're running this John Stockton card, there is a problem.
I fully agree with that, but he's also better than Steve Nash. He's better than Derrick Rose. He's as good as... He's not, like... Explain to me how he's worse than Mike Conley. How is he 4 tiers below Mike Conley? How is John Stockton in F tier? And you've got Tiny Archibald. Let's compare Tiny Archibald versus John Stockton. Let's compare John Stockton and Tiny Archibald here. Like, of all people, you chose the best player to move down. Let's compare. Tiny Archibald plus 23 total stats. Look at the gap in the defense. Plus 20 interior defense for John Stockton. Wow, neither of them can dunk. The reason why he is plus 28 in total stats is because he gets like plus 100 in post moves. Nowhere near as good on defense. Nowhere near as good shooting wise. Nowhere near as good playmaking wise. Badges wise. He's got an extra 17 goals. And they're the same height. Stockton has a longer wingspan. Explain to me how Tiny Archibald is better than John Stockton. And he's 4 tiers ahead. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 tiers ahead.
Who can I move down from C tier?
Do not move Allen Iverson down. Or do not... If you move Marbury down, you have to move Derrick Rose down. The only players that you can move down... I mean, Gabe Vincent, maybe? Louis Dampier is a trash can.
Probably the next question. Allen Iverson.
Louis Dampier! How is he staying?
Back down. Then after that, it's pretty tough.
No, it's not. It's Louis Dampier.
It's really, really tough. Louis Dampier.
Thank you.
As well. B
Derrick
tier,
Rose.
at least 1 or 2 guys.
Derrick Rose.
Kevin Johnson. I'm just
Derrick Rose.
Big supporter of you.
Devin Harris or Derrick Rose?
Conley,
Wait a minute. How has Steve Nash survived in B tier? I completely forgot. Steve Nash is not only not B tier. He's probably D tier.
I do like this B tier that I really don't want to move anybody else.
How is Steve Nash in there?
Goes down, so it's probably where we're gonna leave it. I'm just gonna have an extra guy.
Please move Tiny down. Tiny Archibald 4 tiers ahead of John Stockton.
An A tier, an extra guy in B tier, and this is where
like John Stockton is closer to Allen Iverson than the next best player, than the next worst player in F tier is to John Stockton. I'm being dead serious. John Stockton is closer to Damian Lillard in S tier than he is to the next best player in in his tier. There's a bigger gap between the rest of F tier and John Stockton than there is between John Stockton and Dame.
Where we are gonna leave it. I need to move one. I'm gonna move one other guy to S tier because
Caruso. He's not gonna do it, but it's Caruso or De'Aaron. If you put up De'Aaron, I'm fine with it.
We need at least 5 S tier point guards. I don't want to do it.
No, he's not. Oh my God, Mr. Debo. Like, I'm higher on Iverson than you will ever be. He's not S. How do you move the Diamond Iverson down to it? Do you underrate the Diamond Iverson and then put this Iverson in S tier?
Do it, but I'm gonna have to. Because of how good Allen Iverson, I think, can be in the right hands, I'm gonna move him into S tier.
In whose hands? Even the 300s like Splash have fully conceded. Just use defensive point guards. Even the 300s have conceded. Just use defensive guys.
No, if you run him, you're gonna get fried on the defensive end of the court. Just know that the Hall of Fame ball stripper is gonna help him if you're in the post. You know, he's gonna.
If you're in the who like what? Oh, if you get caught in the post, yeah, I do understand that. But like. Everyone knows with the ball stripper, literally you just spam. Ball stripper doesn't help with mashing. Ball stripper literally is just if they try to go straight up. If they catch you in the correct mash, you're kind of screwed.
To be able to, get some strips, get some rips, whatever. I do not like AI. I'm going to balance this thing out.
Yes, he doesn't like AI. So he has this AI who is one of the best players in C tier, in D tier. But yet he has AI in S.
I'm going to move one more guy from C tier down and then one guy from B tier down. The guy I'm moving down from C tier is just Gabe Vincent.
Yeah, that's fine with that.
I haven't seen him play. I haven't.
D-Rose, Steve Nash, please. Like, I don't like Rose. I don't like Devin Harris. But Steve Nash is the worst and is not even close in this tier.
I don't know enough about it. And the guy from B tier,
Steve Nash.
Down.
No.
Do it. But I've not.
How is he worse than Steve Nash?
And when I say that, it comes down to the defensive end of the court.
You have Steve Nash in B tier.
And how bad Jason Terry is. So
you have Steve Nash in B tier.
This is the finalized product of my.
And he has the audacity to go at my tier lists. Here, lads. Here, lads. Here, lads. I'm sorry. I've played the Uno reverse card and I've well and truly milked this for all it's worth. I'm playing this Uno reverse card. He has shown he hasn't held back in any of mine and I'm not holding back on his. Steve Nash. Like, John Stockton's not even visible. He's not even visible. John Stockton is better than every single player in D tier. John Stockton is better than every single player in C tier. Except for maybe Mike Conley. But Mike Conley is better than half of B tier. I'm cool with John Stockton in B. Like, John Stockton in B tier is cool. John Stockton, even in C tier, I'm not that angry. But what the hell? First of all, what is Tiny Archibald doing up in A tier? What is Steve Nash doing in B tier? And, like, as much as I don't agree with Derrick Rose, like, what the hell is Tiny Archibald doing in A tier and Steve Nash in B? And Iverson in S. Lads, I'm just going to have to end it there. So anyway, yeah, that's the video. Link to Ty's channel, obviously one of the best players in the world. He knows more about this game, or he's better at this game, knows more about it than I ever will. But at the same time, man, I think I might have the edge on budget cards. So anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Link to the channel will be in the description. He's just hit 80k. Let's go try get him to 100k as soon as possible. Hopefully by like February or March next year he can get to 100k. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.